you should put it to good use. So I'm taking a moment to write and tell you that I'm fine and doing well. We have good days and bad days over here. We try to remember the good ones and get through the bad ones as best we can. Mostly we have each other, and that's what keeps us going. That and the pride of our commitment to getting the job done, whatever it takes. I miss you all very much and can't wait to get back to life as usual. Please tell everybody hello for me, and that I'll be home soon. And Mom, since you asked, if anyone wants to help, just tell them to contact the USO. You can't believe how much they do for us. With love, your son Michael.
The USO depends on the general.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear on 1010 WOLB
are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
It's done unto you as you believe. It's done unto you as you believe. I'm gonna get there, yes, somehow. Push my way through the crowd. I'm gonna grab you by the hand to a place we will stand. Stand proud, no fear. It's clear, I believe in you. I believe in me. Oh yeah, I believe that we can make this dream a reality.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We want to get right to the show today. Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Oh, man, what a gorgeous day. Absolutely stunning. It was 73 when I got in the car, so I let the top down on my car because my doctor keep telling me that black folks don't get enough vitamin D. Really, because of our complexion, we don't think that we really need it, and because we have this complexion, it sort of fights the sun off. No, y'all need to get out there and lay up in the sun because this helps to fight that cancer, to keep that cancer off of your body. Vitamin D does. So I'm not going to get in that. We got a whole bunch of talk, but I just wanted to make you all aware of the fact that we do need sunshine. Again, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Welcome my co-host Wayne and partner in time. People say crime, but I'm going to say my partner in time, Wayne Ormond Ra.
What it do, family?
Amen.
Yes, and Leo Burrows Jr.
Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition for justice, decency, and fair play.
Yes, and Jason Rodriguez, our new co-host, and also our producer for the show. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, family. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. And we got a special guest today. This young man, I call him a young man. He's grinning at the sides. That's just because the dye didn't get down that far to cover it up. But I'm gonna call him a young man, Mr. George Mitchell.
Amen.
Of Park Heights. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome to be here. Well, so much is going on. As you know, last week was an amazing week in the city of Baltimore for many reasons. I was invited. We were all invited. Well, some of us were invited. Anyway, Senator Larry Young had his National Action Network meeting. I believe it was on last Tuesday, where Police Commissioner Kevin Davis was there answering questions and telling us giving us his thoughts about what's going on and what's happening in Baltimore. And I got to tell you, I was almost persuaded to believe the guy and everything he said. And I said it when I got up. I'm almost persuaded, to jump on your bandwagon. And because he said some unbelievable things about the Fraternal Order of Police. They must be going at it a little bit. He didn't seem very pleased with them, and
that's Gene Ryan and Bob Cherry, and these are they're the official racist organization representing the union, and they are as far right as you can go. They're with the National Rifle Association in terms of the race card and racist politics. So again, the pilot tricks coming from Gene Ryan and Fraternal Order of Police. It is not a surprise.
Well, I was surprised to hear him state it so publicly. He also jumped on the legislature in Annapolis, talking about whenever something happens in Baltimore, they just say, "Oh, that's y'all's problem. We don't have anything to do with it." And I've talked to other people, and everybody says this. He's absolutely right. When it comes to Baltimore, it's a hands-off. But I'm going to add, until it's time to go into that money from the lottery and take the money from the lottery and give it to the counties, when the $3 million a month is spent in Park Heights for lottery tickets. But yet when the money comes in, then they got something. They want to pay us a little attention when they come and take our money to give into the county, who is not supporting those lottery tickets. So this is the crux of what we're going to be talking about starting off today is equal justice, the equal protection under the law. And I posed a question to Commissioner Davis as to why there was no posting anywhere that we have been able to find of the response time of the police department to the different communities and neighborhoods here in Baltimore. But we all know, I don't know why that is. All right. Do you know why we're hearing that? Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that, you all. Ghosts. Right? Ain't nobody do nothing. Yeah, we're rebuking them spirits right now. We flesh. We ain't no ghosts up in here. Okay. And I posed the question to him about the response times and why we were not able to locate them anywhere, not on the city's website. Nowhere were we able to find them. And our producer, I posed a question to him a couple of weeks ago, and he immediately went to his connections to try to find out what he could find out. So he contacted Justin Fenton of the Baltimore Sun. And Justin went, and he could not find anything where that was posted. I also went to a breakfast at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center, where the mayor came and sat and greeted and talked with all of the men there, leaders who had come to that breakfast. And I posed the question to her, and she didn't know either. And she directed me to Dr. Bundley. And he sent me back an email saying that he was going to check on it today. That's been a week ago. And so, y'all know me. I looked at that. The God just gave me the opportunity to go and ask the commissioner directly. Leo, did you want to say something?
Yeah. I don't understand why folk don't, when I say folk, I'm generalizing now, but why the powers that be don't understand response time in relationship to effectiveness in fighting crime. I mean, if you don't know what's happening there, the police commissioner, first and foremost, has to know. The mayor has to know. The president of the city council, and the police department of Baltimore City is technically a state agency. The mayor can hire and fire the police commissioner, but the state is the funding source with regard to the Baltimore City Police Department, in many ways dictating what's happening. Baltimore City, of course, has a budget, and we spend more money on Baltimore City Police Department in our budget than any other agency. Than schools, which is ridiculous. Which is absolutely so ridiculous. Again, how do we not know? I say it is by design. Nobody could be that stupid as to not know how the response time factors into the equation of dealing with police response to community needs and crime and criminality. You're absolutely right.
I mean, how do you not know that? How do you not? That was mine. I was shocked. I was shocked. And here is the question. Are we ready? Are you ready, Uchenna? Could you play that for me?
When we have policies that are
No, that's the wrong one. That's Dr. Wynn. You marked them, right, Jason?
The first one is the police commissioner. Yep.
Okay. Is that the first one? He's playing the first one, he says. Uchenna.
Right. I don't.
Wrong
That should be the first one. Yeah.
Sorry for the. Why don't you take it off right now and locate it, and then come back to us. We'll keep moving. I was amazed that nobody knew, and in the process, we're hearing that the police are working overtime, and we're paying a fortune in overtime. And I said to the commissioner, I said to him, would you go in there, Jason? I think he needs you to locate that. Gotcha. I asked why this was happening, and we understand that they're looking for the criminals and trying to stop the criminals. But if we call you and tell you that my house is being robbed and I'm sitting here in the front of it, and it takes you 40 minutes to get there, well, the robbers are gone. So why are you more concerned about the criminals and not protecting us from the criminals? Which takes priority? That's my question, Leo.
Well, yeah, but I'm not trying to get off track here, but I've got to say, the question that I posed several weeks ago and you and others have supported, in relationship to this whole question, confiscation of guns and drugs. Periodically, we are told that the drugs that are contraband that's collected from criminals is housed in the property room of the police department and that it's destroyed. So my question is, how often is it destroyed? Is it quarterly? Is it biannually? What agencies destroy it? When we talk about guns that are melted down or confiscated, what is the disposition of these drugs and guns that are confiscated? And guess what? Nobody knows the answer to that either. Nobody knows that, and that's just absurd.
Yes, they just end up back on the street. But I think we're ready with the recording.
Are we ready with the recording? This is my question to Commissioner Kevin Davis at the National Action Network's meeting on this past Tuesday, I believe it was. Let's hear it.
Yes, Commissioner, I'm almost persuaded. I enjoyed that speech. I was surprised by some of the things that you said. We here in Baltimore, I've lived here since 1998, and I've fallen in love with this city. I almost died in this city, so it hasn't been all good to me, but God kept me for a reason. And the one thing that I've noticed, and my first question to you is there anywhere we can see the actual of the Post Department to different communities? We've been looking for it. We can't find it anywhere. Is it posted somewhere? It's not in the website. Is there some place where it can happen? Because we're seeing some strange things happening. Over in Irvington, a lady called the police. She was sitting in her car and these people are robbing her house. And she called the police. Took them 40 minutes to get there. Another Korean guy's son, they were beating him in his store. They called the police. They didn't get there to 30 minutes. But we understand that right very close to there, they called the police in there in 5 minutes. So we need to know if there is a place where response times for the community. Because we understand you got to catch the criminals, but we need protection as citizens. We're the taxpayers, and we feel like that you guys should really be caring about getting there and make sure that we're okay first. And so we'd like to know if there are response times. We feel that's really important. And the other thing is, and I know, Larry, I'll go ahead. I know there are other people, but I just wanted to know where we might find that information about response times.
So I capture response times from across the city. We have on our website, it sounds like you visited our website.
Yes.
So there's a transparency page on our website. Have you taken a look at that, the transparency page?
Yes, sir, we did. We did. In fact, we filed for an information report because we haven't been able to, and Justin Fenton is working with us on it. He can't find it either.
Well,
so
my promise to you is this. On the transparency page are things like police-involved shootings and policies and disciplinary information, the number of people that I've fired, all those things we put on the transparency page because people want to be able to reference that when they want to see it, to evaluate how their police department's doing. I promise you, and this is a no-brainer to me, so I'm not going to filibuster you with my answer. We will put our response time information on our transparency page.
Thank you.
The thing we have to explain, and it's not too terribly difficult to explain, but sometimes it's frustrating because to the 911 caller, the only time that matters to the 911 caller is the time that call came in, so the time the police showed up on the doorstep. Internally, it will give you some inside baseball. Internally, the police officer doesn't necessarily get dispatched when the call comes in. So to me, I look at time of dispatch to time on scene. But 911 caller looks at time of call to the time on scene. So we're going to put both sets of criteria on the website. Great. So the time of call, time on scene, the time of dispatch, time on scene. And a lot of times, the average age of a police officer in Baltimore is 26, and that's young to me. A lot of them don't understand that when they respond to a scene and they're confronted by an upset citizen that is ticked off that it took you so long to get there, sometimes a cop just says, well, I just got the call and I'm here. Not an excuse, but we will put our computer-aided dispatch response time information on our transport.
Thank you. There you heard it. That was Commissioner Kevin Davis. He says they're going to post it. They're going to put it up. He didn't give me a date as to when.
Well, he should have given a date. You know, I mean, this is all related. All of this is interrelated to the enforcement and how we enforce the law and this whole question. And I know this is fair game, the open-air drug markets that exist in our city. They announced this morning, I heard it on WLB, that there were 45 people arrested for illegal dirt bike usage, and more than 200 dirt bikes were confiscated. Well, give us some statistics on how many people were arrested for open-air drug market dealing vis-a-vis their incarceration or what. I don't get the sense that we're really sincere. Kevin Davis is a great speaker. I mean, he's
very charming.
Very charming. He's almost hypnotic at times. But I'm not dissuaded by his demeanor of speech.
You mean you're not persuaded?
I'm not persuaded.
Yes.
He's articulate, but we want results.
Yes.
And you got to give us some results. And if he said he's going to post this information, then we need the specificities of when it's going to happen. He's going to do it when? On Friday of this week or Monday of next week? We got to call him on it. He said he's going to do it. The question becomes, I just think that it's a clever way of obstructing justice. And I know when I say that, people are going to tell me, oh, you just don't like Kevin Davis, and you're so mean, and you're so radical. Why are you talking like this? You know he loves us all, as do the Fraternal Order of Police. Bull crap. We want results in our community. No excuses. You're getting paid money. Deliver on the services or get your hat.
Yes, sir. That's right. Absolutely.
Get somebody else in that job if you can't deliver. Crack the whip and get it done.
Well, let's take that a little further. Thank you. That was a great lead-in. The open-air drug markets. Lieutenant Briscoe, Major, let me see here.
It's Major Briscoe. It is Major Briscoe.
Major Cherie Briscoe.
Yes, that's right.
There was an article in the Baltimore Sun that I found pretty amazing, her commentary about the open-air drug markets. She says neighborhoods that are winning in this fight are neighborhoods who work together, who are not oppressed or live in fear, Briscoe said. She points to more than 100 liquor stores in District 7, the abundance of vacant and abandoned housing, the lack of access to jobs and educational activities in the district. It's easy to say, where are the police, but who will engage the black men standing on the corners? Where are the programs to give them opportunities? Now, Madam Major, you ask us, where are the opportunities for education? When the police department gets more money than the schools get here, you ask us this question. You ask us about the vacant houses, and we've been talking about them, and they've been standing for years.
Some of them have trees that have grown
in them. You ask us these questions, and as though I find it just totally amazing and a bit arrogant and a bit insensitive to the situation that we should go and get involved with these young people. And I understand, I'm not against that. But what were those people whose house got blew up when they killed the whole family?
The
Dawson family.
Yeah.
How many people, the woman over there that had the 8 children the other day who was killed because she called the police?
Yeah, Charmaine Wilson.
And they failed to protect her.
Yeah.
And they failed to give her protection.
Exactly.
But this is the thing, though. You know what I mean? these situations come and go, and we still have to live in it. You know what I mean? Everybody still have to live in the communities with these folks. And when we tell folks to engage the community, this is something that simply just really has to be done. I want y'all to hear from me, because I just spoke at an event yesterday, and I had to say the same thing. But it's not up to these sisters and these seniors to get out here on these corners and try to pull these brothers out of this. No. When I say engage them, I mean every single day that you see them, speak to them. Ask them, are you thirsty? Are y'all all right? Are y'all cool? Yeah. Y'all be safe. Show that you have a certain concern, and they will do the same thing for you. When they doing crazy stuff, no, let's move away from Miss Johnson house, because I don't want her to see us out here. You see what I'm saying? We have to learn to get to know each other again. You know what I mean? It's up to the men in this community to step to them on those corners. You know what I mean? And not come to them with your religion and your politics. More so of trying to find a way to get to them. How can I help you? I got to know some folks that's hiring over here. Y'all brothers ain't got, you know what I'm saying? There's ways of engaging. That's
what we're doing in Irvington.
That's what we doing in every community.
That's what we just had our cookout this Saturday, and it was an outreach cookout, and it was geared towards the dope boys and the dope girls.
Right.
You know, and we walked up and down the corridor, and we connected them to the mayor's office of employment. A lot of us don't understand there are services in place. You have issues with child support. There's an agency right now inside Mondawmin Mall that will help you get your driver's license and help you straighten out your child support.
Real quick, before I get off of where I was going with this, the whole thing is that I try to say it every week, because we've been saying it as long as we've been here on air. The Baltimore Sun article that talked about us being historically miseducated as long as we've been black in this country. You know what I mean? I try to say that every week,
particularly in
because
Baltimore.
of the fact that these folks who are in position like this sister, you know what I mean? It's a splash of ignorance and arrogance for you to make comments like this when you know that these people don't have the education to get the employment. That's why we're going around partnering with all these organizations to bring in training programs. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do hear what you're saying, but I'm just a little bit an insult to my intelligence. And so what insults my intelligence is that a simple police car sitting there telling those people as they assemble to move on would help eliminate this problem.
I mean, they know that.
But why doesn't she do that? We have been calling now. I'm going to call out. I also spoke to Commissioner Davis about the fact that the BP station on Garrison and Liberty, there is a congregation of young men that are standing there consistently. A week and a half ago, 4 people were shot in the next block over there. And these guys are still coming back there standing every day. Not only that, but Aldi's had this beautiful tree in their front driveway where you drive up, and those the drug addicts, the dope pushers had brought milk crates sitting down there every day. It looked like they were having church down there, or it was a picnic going on. All these had to cut down that beautiful tree to keep those people from sitting there. When all the policemen had to do was come by, they just drive by, they just tell them on their way to the station to check out, hey, just drive by on the corner of Cold Spring and Dolefield and clear off those corners. It could be a regular thing. Just tell them to go somewhere and don't come back here.
The communities that they want to do it in. The whole thing is, is that, you know what I mean? My thing is, if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. I was one of the brothers out there. So understand that a lot of these officers are involved. Where are these drugs coming from? Where did we were posing these same questions for how long in this city? So you know what I mean? If they are not playing a part in helping, you're a part of the problem. So we have to call it out. It is what it is.
When are the police officers going to get their behinds out of the cars?
Males, not men. We dealing with male men. These are not male men in this city. These are males. That's why everybody's saying, get the police to do it. And where's the organizations? You know why you don't see us? Because the revolution is not televised, because the real people on the ground.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Brother Boone, I took up a lot of time.
That's okay. We have a question for you.
Maybe we get some new men that'll call in, that maybe want to call Wayno, maybe want to call Jason, and see how you tie your boots up, man. And then maybe we could get this. This is not Pew problem. This ain't Davis problem. When Davis go back to Annapolis, we still gonna be bleeding. When Pew go out there to go make it to Carter, Congress and take Kwahise and Fume's old job, we still gonna be bleeding. When blah 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 go over here to la la la, to la to everybody, we still gonna be bleeding.
Exactly.
You know, I meet you at the line, Jason. I meet you over east, and Pat, keep getting the message out. And whoever got anything to say about what we talking about, until you can show blood on your boots and dirty knees, you are saying nothing on this phone until we can break mental ideology.
Brother Boone, Brother Boone, would you give out your information again? I know some of us know it, but would you give out your information as to how the 300 gangsters, how you can be contacted in terms of your...
You can contact me cold-blooded. Go on Facebook, if they don't shoot it down, and look under first Sonny Rez, SONNYREDZ, Sonny Rez. Secondly, you can contact me again through Wayno, which is the ambassador of 300 Gangsters, is that again, through Patrick with his message, and through Wayno 3, he's the ambassador. I can't even accept calls to my nation. Wayno 300, that's in that studio right now, is the ambassador of our movement. You want to get at anything, anyway, from development down to July 4th, you in contact, listen to the show on Monday, and Wayno been giving y'all information about 300. My personal number is for people who got boots on the ground. It's not a great thing. Leo, you got my number. Jay, you got my number. Anybody who else got boots on the ground, get it through Wayno. We talking about boots. Whoever got financial support so that we can give somebody a sandwich, talk to Wayno, the ambassador. But again, this is a movement. See us at the line. Leo, you know I love you, and guess what? Pass me the ammunition.
Amen.
Thank you, PFK, man. I love that brother's heart. Leo, go ahead.
Yeah, really quickly, with relationship to politics and government, because we can't get rid of the government, and nor should we. We should be holding the government accountable. We are the taxpayers. We pay their salaries. I'm going to give you two practical examples of something I thought should have happened. And some
Lilo, let me get my phone.
In terms of job.
Okay, we'll talk. We're going to talk about that as solutions.
Okay.
Let me get these phones because they're burning them up. They are line 4 is Robert. Robert, thank you for calling. Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. You have a question or comment? Turn your radio down.
Let me get these phones because they're burning them up.
Robert,
He's enjoying the show, man.
Robert,
Big bro.
Robert,
Turn your radio
there?
down, brother.
You have a question or comment? Turn your radio down.
How's that? That's good. Turn it down further.
Listen to us, bro, not the show. Not the show.
Okay, how's that?
You're part of the show now.
Okay, good, man. I appreciate everything y'all talking about, and I think it's good. You know, and about one of the things that we talked about, is this idiotic policy that Ms. Pugh just put out, something about the reservoir and kayaking. And these are the kind of things that frustrate in the cities with where, you know, they can find money for everything else, and it seems like it's been done almost immediately. And Brother George Mitchell was talking about how these things, is language, 31 years without a library, and these type of things that goes in our community. That has to be stopped right now, and it has to be called on carpet. We can't have people like Sharon Militant get a pass. She's been a council person for 15 years, and Park Heights still look the same. Same thing with the old lady up on Park Heights. Whatever her name is.
Ricky Spector, she's gone.
She's gone, bro.
She's gone.
Yeah. But
you don't wait for Nathaniel Oaks and give him a pass. He's been in office for 35 years.
Yeah, he's going to go to jail, ain't he?
Bro, wait a minute. I think he still got his.
We can't do it.
Yeah,
Right.
I completely feel you, bro, but I think you like a year behind. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think because I mean, and I ain't hurting. I love the brother for making his comments because we gotta hold everybody accountable. But you know, we questioned Sister Middleton, and now she's at the table. She's coming in. She's working with Neighborhoods United. She's working over in Dofield. You know what I mean? So you know, it's just holding everybody accountable. You know.
Yes. They've got a line open 410-481-1010. 410-481-1010. You're listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People, and we've got Mark up next. Mark, how are you? Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. You have a question or comment?
Yes, good afternoon, brothers. I really enjoy the show and appreciate your passion. As the previous caller said, his point was, and again, you guys made this point, that when we vote the same politicians in over and over, because prior to the last election, if you looked at the city council, generally, generally, all of them have been there umpteen years.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the same conditions, why do you continue to vote the same people in office? And in our case, it's not who we vote in office, it's who we don't vote in office, because we don't vote. And that's why they don't address our concerns. That's why the police don't come to your community. Because if you're not a voter, they don't have to answer to you. And we need to correct that amongst us. We can't stop. We got to stop blaming people. I appreciate you, brothers, and your strong policies and the boots on the ground. And that's where it has to lie. Because we know that Mookie is in a community. He's criminalizing us. We know that Boo Boo is in the community. He's one of us. We have to address them. When we talk about guys congregating under the tree and sitting on a crate, then we want to back the ACLU, because when the police then address these guys, they want to say you can't run them out of their own community because now you're profiling. We can't have it both ways, brother. We either got to let the police work, or we got to step out there and work. Because then when the ACLU comes into our community and say, well, you can stop them from doing that because that's unfair. No, it's not unfair. We know what these guys are doing. And when you talked about the family that was burned out, you're talking about the Dawson family. When we speak out and speak up, we got to stand behind those who do that. And there are often a lot of us in our community who do so. When we blame the police because we talk about the overtime, and we can't have it both ways again, let me be clear. We can't say we want them to get out of the car and walk around and talk to the neighbors, but yet still they got 40 calls waiting where they got to run around from place to place to answer these police calls. We can't. Again, I'm not giving them excuses, and I'm not letting them off the hook. But we have got to be real about this, brother.
Yes,
we got to be a part of the. We got to be a part of the solution by not only telling them what they need to do, but being partners with them to get it done.
We agree with you 100%, Mark. But let me just say something to you.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying about the ACLU, because I spoke with a captain, and he brought that up. He brought that up. But there are signs out there that says no loitering.
Correct. I agree with you.
But he didn't have to harass them. All he's got to say is moving on. You've been standing here too long. There is no business here. You're loitering. This is against the law. This is all we're asking to do.
This is the thing. We just asking for the same respect that they give in the white community.
And Roland Park.
That's it.
You know,
I'm not asking for them.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So we all saying the same thing, family. You know what I mean? And that's the thing why Boone called. We're all saying the same thing. You know, we just want the same respect. When you get out the car, you know what I mean? Well, speak to people, not crack somebody with a club. You know what I'm saying?
When you say that the major our comments are arrogant, it's not arrogant. Let me tell you why. Because most of us, we volunteer on our own time and bring our own funds and resources back to the community. We're not saying it because we think that these people are below us. We come back on our own time when we're off the clock. And so when you say it's arrogance, what we're saying is that when we're in uniform, we get chastised. Then when we come back out of uniform and on our own time and bring resources, we get chastised.
Nobody said.
That makes us want to pull back.
Nobody said that the major was arrogant.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was that her statement. I did. I thought her statement was a little arrogant. And you know what? I'm going to retract that. I'm going to retract that for the peace of this situation. If that was too fiery, if it was, I have to tell you, I am pissed off. I didn't sleep well last night. Because I look at what's going on. So when I see, you know, so maybe that was a little strong, and I don't want to offend anybody.
And we want to keep everybody at the table.
We want to keep everybody at the table, and if I offend you, you're not going to want to hear what I have to say. So I don't want to do that. But I want you to listen to what I'm saying. And I take it you are a policeman, and we appreciate that. It sounds like you're a good guy. But what do you do about all of those down there that are not
That
good
was my
guys?
question, family.
That's the part that we have a problem.
They're the ones that are hurting us. They're the ones that break the bridge.
Let me answer that one real quick. You want to know what I do about the bad ones? Whenever, and again, there's no cover-up, guys, and I hate to admit this, because it would be easy to say, yeah, there's a cover-up, but there isn't. As you said, the 4 or 5 bad ones out of 3,000, do we claim that that's everybody? And again, let me be clear. I'm not saying there aren't some people who are corrupt, because that happens in every facet of life.
Yes, sir.
What we have got to do is stop blaming all of us for the wrong of some idiot 20 or 30.
I agree. I
will. That's all I'm saying.
All right, now you pose that, and I agree. Now this is the thing, though, with me. It's not just about the all of them and the all of us. The thing is that it's certain codes, like the code blue, that brothers will stand behind rather than seeing that this officer is abusing this person.
That
you see what I'm saying?
correct.
They're keeping their mouths closed, bro, when the times are hurting us. And see, not a lot of y'all, and see, listen to me. I want you to hear me clearly, because I don't want it to be offensive. But when I'm seeing a police officer beat me up, and I'm looking up at a brother looking at this officer beat on me, knowing that I done nothing wrong. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Just come up and I'm standing on the bus stop. I wasn't even driving. Remember when we first started, the officers that harassed me constantly because of what we do. They would come and pull me off the bus stop, bruh, slam me to the ground, you hold me there for half an hour or so, then let me go. This brother's standing around watching it. But other officers not saying nothing.
I agree with you completely, brother.
That's what's hurting us. That's what broke the bridge between us in the community. The brothers that got on the force and allow these white brothers to come forth and keep hurting us.
What were you saying, sir?
Let's rebuild that bridge, because I'm telling you, it's a changing, and I'm telling you, you may not see it on the outside, but there is a change on the inside, and let me tell you, the change is coming because of the pressure from the community. Let me be frank with you. That's why it's changing. Let's continue to build that bridge. A lot of what happens in the courts, I do absolutely agree with you. We know is wrong. I mean, I'm not blind. I didn't just come here from Mars.
Right. And that's all we saying, bro.
Because of the color of our skin.
Yes,
I ain't got no question of saying it. However, let's continue to build that bridge, because there are us on the inside who are recognizing that unfairness. A couple months ago, the international chiefs of police, they said it, and that was the time for real change to happen. They said, we apologize for the way the minority community in this country has been policed for years. And that was the time when officers across this nation should have jumped on it and said, when the international chiefs of police are saying it, then that means the police departments across the country are admitting they police the minority and black communities wrong in this country.
Brother, a black officer just got shot the other day in the back by a white officer. You see what I'm saying? Because he was out of uniform. You see what I'm saying? Commissioner Davis said the other day in the meeting with Pat, I don't want to hire these guys from Pennsylvania who have never been in a black community, who have a racist back. He said it himself. So, you know what I'm saying? We need everybody to step up and stop ignoring these facts.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, brother.
Let me say one thing.
Yes.
You know, if you go into the schools right now, elementary schools, middle schools, I guarantee you, 90% of the kids, especially some of the black males, you ask them what they want to be when they grow up. They're going to say, I want to be a police officer or a fireman. Right. Now, something happens between the time they're 6 years old and the time they become 16. Because at 16 to 17 years old, they don't want to be police officers anymore. They hate the police.
Yes.
So what happened between those 10 years to get them to go from one extreme all the way to the other? And I think what we have to do, and the brother who just spoke is right, that bridge has got to be built and maintained. And that's one of the things, my focus is on young children. Because, a guy gets 17, 18, 19 years. I know there are a lot of programs out there for him. People making a lot of money off of programs to say, well, we're going to help this guy when he get 18. But what about the kids? We need to help now at a young age.
That's what we got to get them.
That's what we got to get them. Because I'm going to tell you something. The drug dealers are waiting for them. Between, the biggest influx is between 3 and 6 p.m. That's when the parents are at work. That's when the kids are home by themselves. And that's why they want to come outside. And that's when the drug dealers say, go get that guy. Because we're going to make them be part of our family. So we have, you're right, brother. Part of the problem is the after-school programs. Got to make them active. I coach this baseball team, man. I'm telling you something. It's tiresome. Dealing with it. But let me tell you something. Those kids are so involved.
They love it, man. They love the attention.
Yeah, they love
the direction. They love it.
And I just ask our brothers and sisters out there one thing. When was the last time you read a book to a kid?
Yes,
sir. When was the last time you carried a kid to a ball game? When was the last time you carried a kid to go get a doggone popsicle? And I'm going to guarantee you, they're ready. Talk to them. Police can't do that.
Stuff.
We got
Mark,
to do that.
all right, Mark, what were you going to do with this? Go ahead and give us a closing statement, sir. Really appreciate you calling and being so honest. Really do. Go ahead.
My closing is you guys are doing exactly what needs to be what needs to be happening in our community. Continue to work on the ground individually, and then collectively, we need to pull the community back together by still holding, again, because I don't want to excuse the politicians. We need to continue to hold them accountable by being participative and active in groups like you guys have.
Thank you,
fam. Thank you. You be blessed too and be safe.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Yes, thank you. Really. Man, that was a surprise. But that's what we want to do. That's what we need. He's telling us what's doing. Leon Pinkett. That's the 7th district, isn't it? Leon. Leon. He's our new city council person. And when I sent the letter to Mr. Bunley, he said he was going about concerning the response times. He said he was going to speak to the city council. But how about everybody that's in the 7th district, everybody that's in the 8th, everybody that's in every district calling and finding out what are the city council people going to do about this? Because every community in this city, every black community is saying the same thing.
Yes,
you call them and it takes them forever to get here.
And see, another thing is what the brother said is building those bridges, because we are having a lot of the folks starting to step up and make the connections with the folks in the community who are on the ground. And that's what we need more of. We need funding behind these programs, man. You know what I mean? Because there's no way in the world that any of these organizations around the city should be struggling when all of this money is going out the window to foolishness. You know what I mean?
That's interesting you would say that with their budget, though. You would think the police would have. They don't even have an officer friendly.
Come on, what happened to the DARE program? See, and that's what broke the relationship with us. Because like Brother Mitchell said, you know what I mean? I grew up with, my father was an officer, grandfathers, uncles, all of them
Correction.
You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, military men too. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when we, and I was in a DARE program. You know what I'm saying? 9, 10 years old. And then one of the officers from the same DARE program 5 years later was one of the officers that slung me around the street, not even knowing who I was. You see what I'm saying?
Do you realize that the auxiliary police in Baltimore are mandated by the city charter, and now they're down to maybe 4 or 5 people under Richard Terry? You know, Brother Terry.
Yes.
There was, from 1991 through 97, they had 100 or more auxiliary police who were volunteers with police uniforms, no gun, but with nightsticks, and they had a blue stripe down their trousers, blue stripe, and they were involved in neighborhoods right here in Baltimore. So we're gonna, I won't do it now, but at some point we'll get him on the program and revisit the fact that the auxiliary police were a conduit,
and
a connective point with community organizations and public events right here in Baltimore City. And the powers that be did not want that group to continue because the professionals out of the Baltimore City Police Department found them to be threatening, and they got rid of a lot of programs, including the POW
and this is where I'm going.
Centers and all these
things
where I'm going. That they had that were working. They were working. And they got rid of these things.
This is where
Islam, too.
My son is a product of POW.
Yes, and that was by design.
The Futures program, I was in that program. I was able to go to school up Gilman and John Hopkins and get certified in certain things coming directly out of it. This is the thing. They broke down this system. When we jumped on the marches against shutting down the Rex, they didn't shut down them beat up Rex in the white community. They let them kids go back and forth to those schools and those Rex centers while they built around them. But when we took if you shut this down, crime is going to rise. This is going to happen. We marched around this city for 2 years.
And
you see what I'm saying?
We had Frederick H. Bielfeld come on this station and had the audacity to say that he didn't feel that these type of programs were programs that curb
look
crime.
What was he?
Tell him who Bielfeld was.
Bielfeld is white, of course.
Tell him who he was.
Well, he was our former police commissioner.
And look what
he felt that these programs were superficial and that these programs didn't do anything as far as curbing crime was concerned.
They were
but that's not the
working.
case.
All those programs were working.
And then all of this, all you see, and now all these folks that you see now, and these grassroots organizations are the remnants of those programs.
Operation
I just had a whole conversation with a brother. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kyle Barkley. You know what I mean? Who their program got shut down. You see what I'm saying? Now you got all these educated groups of brothers who's a psychologists, electricians, plumbers, mechanics, tradesmen who are helping to get these folks certified in the community. Now you see what I'm saying?
Now they're fighting for funding.
But at the same time, they are still putting money and taking money from our community to go over here to the downtown.
We got to keep fighting.
Yes, we do.
Operation Champ.
It's 12:30. Do you know where your children are?
so you know what I mean. So
what you're saying is right, because it's the same thing with the Pimlico Community Development Authority. And Pat, you know about PTDA and all this money for the slot money. That money was originally ordained for Central and Southern Park Heights.
Right.
It wasn't ordained for everything else, but a lot of the money has
past
been
the mile radius.
Right. A lot of money has been spent above Northern Parkway. Very little money has been spent below Northern Parkway. We have to fund for, we do a food pantry. I didn't ask the city for no money to do that. And you'd be surprised. I got every dime to come in that food pantry I have to spend out of my own pocket. We didn't ask for the baseball team. I had to sit there and put no money up for that. We play on the field, but we didn't have. The same thing is happening with this library. We're not asking the city for any money. All we want to do is have a library so our kids. education solves a lot of issues, man. And we want to be able to educate our kids, have a safe haven.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna hold you, but I got my lines are filled, and I really do want to hear the commentary.
Even though I feel as though we should, because they owe us. These are our tax dollars. These are our streets. These are our communities. That's not their money. And that money shouldn't be going to build up in Ann Harbor. That money shouldn't be going to build up the Jewish community. That's your money, bro. So yes, they owe you. That's you should be asking them for. We wouldn't be getting the money coming to Dofield if we didn't say, yo, this money's supposed to be coming to us.
Supposed to be. We found it. And when they told us it wasn't there, they lied to us. They told us it wasn't there. They lied to us and told us it wasn't there, and we wrote the proposal for it. Rhonda Wimbish, I know me and you ain't on the same page, but I still thank you for the work that you did to help Dofield to be moving where it is right now, because we would not have known that money was there. And y'all don't know if y'all drove down Dofield, but y'all need to go over there and see what's going on up off in there. We moving over there. We not sitting waiting for nobody to tell us what we can't do. Khalid, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Khalid?
Yeah, this brother Khalid.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, progress.
Amen. Yes, sir. Amen.
Direct action, that's what goes through my mind. And another thing, as far as the police go, that's so out of order. It's police by remote control, for one thing. The whole Baltimore Police Department is remote controlled from, I would say, New York. New York is the grandfather. And that's why you see all this crap going on all over the country.
How do you make that connection?
The same paradigm. Well, by living in
Okay.
and watch police. Where do they get their people?
New York.
I mean, it doesn't take a blind man can see that that pipeline. But I don't want to belabor that because I believe the sheriff's department. I believe it's topsy turvy anyway. Baltimore should be the sheriff is elected by the people. That's the people's police, so to speak, or law enforcement. The police are not. The police, and that's where people got it all wrong. They should really understand the difference between sheriff and police. That's one thing. Okay, direct action, community. Brother Patrick.
Yes.
Could you invite, because you all mentioned the communities. Now, I know you got Brother George Mitchell there, and he's dynamic.
Thank you, sir.
But I'm talking about, could you invite other community association leaders?
Yes.
And kind of see where they're at, because see, that's boots on the ground for us. Some communities are dysfunctional, and you could kind of find out what's going on.
Absolutely. Our meeting tomorrow at 6 at CC Jackson. I've invited them and inviting them to come. Absolutely, you are 100%, because they know what's going on in their community, and they're not all men. There are a lot of women involved, and it seems, George, that the women are the ones responding to me and saying that they're coming.
Sisters keep it going, bro.
Right.
Now, man, the first motivational speaker I ever had in my life was my mother. She was a single parent. I'm telling you, she didn't play. And a lot of people that knew my mother, she'd tell you she didn't play. So we got, until this men begin to step up, we're gonna have to rely on
what we got.
But we gotta expose that fact to the communities themselves, because there are people that have been over, in name, they are community association.
Come on.
In action, our children don't feel them.
The neighbors don't know them.
Now, look, check this out, bro. I'm glad you brought this up, because, I often forget to say this. We have tried. We have tried to get every neighborhood that was involved, that was in a certain radius, so that we all could be redeveloping at the same time. But a lot of times, man, they carry it like it's high school. It's a favoritism thing and a buddy thing. And I'm not with that team, and I don't like them over there.
Exactly.
They are Christians or they are Muslims, and see, that's what we have to end, because we have all been, misguided with this foolishness. Why they take advantage of us? We've been doing this for the past 7 years.
Direct action needs to take place. We need to work on that.
I would love to get every community organization on this show to tell us what they are doing, so we can support them.
But let me tell you what we did, and you're absolutely right. There is a gentleman over there near us who operates what they call autocratically. In other words, the people don't know what the hell he's doing.
Right.
And he's been the president, haven't held no election in years and stuff. So what we do, we went and put flyers on the people's doors.
Right on. Door to door.
We went door to door, put the flyers on, and those people came out to the meeting. So you're absolutely right. Some of these people are autocrats operating. They've been doing it because they got the under the table stuff. They do a little favor, and they get a few dollars here and there, and they've been doing it for decades.
So they don't want no involvement.
No. So you're absolutely right.
You're exactly right.
Patrick, that's where the black community is undermined. That's
Yes.
And you're exactly right.
It's right there.
Yes. Hurry up, Khalid. I got to get my phone. You got anything else you want to say? But you've been brilliant. Thank you.
That's good.
God bless. Bye-bye. All right. Diane, Lady Di, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Welcome.
Hey, Sister Queen.
How you doing?
How y'all doing?
We're good. You have a question or comment? Come on.
I just want to say, Patrick, I thank you for having this show. But can I say this? And please don't cut me off.
Okay. Hurry up.
Your caller, a couple of callers, the police officer, how dare him to say that? When you all officers are sitting there and Wayne, or when you said somebody was beating you and you look up and it was a black officer, that's that cold of silence.
And that's what I be talking about. That's what's hurting us.
That's what's hurting us. And for him to say that people are out here working hard. You think about the Dawson family. You think about Miss Charmaine Wilson. You know, and people get afraid because they call. If you call the police and they come to your door, and then or even like what the word out on the street was that they went and told the people that Miss Charmaine Wilson called the police.
That's right.
And that's what caused her to be killed. So who's going to get punished for that? And my thing is, I like what what's his name, Boone said. Boone said that and that's what I've been saying for 10 years. Men, get up off your rusty dusty, get out there and talk to them. If you had a criminal background and God has allowed you to have the second chance and you are working, you're supposed to be out there telling them young boys what not to do and where not to go. Don't go the same route that you went. But our men don't want to do the job because and it's work. It's almost like a career. I don't want to even say it as a job because they got to get out there and keep doing it. You're not going to save everybody, but God's going to give you somebody that's going to be a testimony for you. But our men got to get up and do it. We sisters have been doing it.
Yes, you have, sister. Yes, you have.
The Bible said, you know, people always say it about Christians. They always say we Christians, but then you said the Bible said that the men are supposed to lead. Well, why are the women leading? If the men are supposed to be leading, and the men are supposed to protect the women, the children, and the seniors.
Yes.
And that's not what's happening. That's why so much blood is on our hands because we got it wrong. And I like what you said, Patrick, because I told you about Old Town. I work with Old Town. Old Town Mall. We the people that live in the community. People need to look at that video about Dudley Street Initiative up in Boston. That's what Baltimore had to do. Patrick, y'all doing it up on Dofield. People are doing it in pockets all over, but we all got to get together in the silos. Maybe the convention center and let each other know what we are doing and bring to the table these developers. You can't build nothing.
That's what we doing.
I hope you listen, I gotta go, but I want you to come to that meeting tomorrow at CC Jackson at 6:00. Because we need to hear your voice because you're talking about solutions and everybody that's coming, don't come in. We know what the problems are.
That's right.
We laying them out right now. So we want everybody to come in that with salute. Love you, Di. See you tomorrow. Not to? We're not laughing at your name, but what is your name? How do you pronounce that?
It's not to.
Not to. Okay, not to do.
This ain't really about me. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, first off, I really call at first just to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like for being the voice, you know what I'm saying, that folk can listen to. But after listening to some of the callers, I got a little bit more fire.
Okay.
Our code can't be if you don't want to be a victim. Everybody gotta get on code, and the code can't be tired of being victims. Okay. We can't look like the problems. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't dress and talk like the same people I want to stop selling drugs in the community, then try to tell them, hey, yo, stop selling drugs in my community.
Why?
It don't work right. I mean, it just don't go. They're not going to take you serious if you trying to look like the kids aren't going to take you serious if you looking like the problem that you telling them not to be like.
But the problem in the way they dress is not the problem, sir. What does it have to do?
It's not about, see, that's the thing. Y'all think it's about dress and look. It's about your speech. It's about the things it's like, for example,
so
you can't tell me to get along with my brother. You can't tell me to get along with my brother, and we can't even have a dialogue over the radio without going back and forth. Not talking about you in general, but just a lot of folk Period.
But it's a dialogue.
You can't tell
Two
people-
dialogue means two, doesn't it? Go ahead. I'm listening to you. I don't want go ahead not to. Go ahead.
Like, we can't keep going with what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? In other words, we have to come together and figure out what code can we all get on that is not threatening to the white man, that's not demeaning ourselves, and also not condemning our brothers who don't know no better. Because a lot of them really just don't know that they look like part of the problem, not with their dress, but with their actions. It's like your everyday movements. Like, you can't say you tired of the Percocets and Mollies and but you buying weed. It's the same. It's the same thing.
All right, let me listen to you, brother. Now I want you to listen to me loud and clear, please. The thing is that assimilation has never worked for no group of people. You see what I'm saying? Every group that tried suffered. You see what I'm saying? It does not matter if you dress like them or talk like them. How many of these educated brothers that are in the room have been beat up by the police? How many of these educated brothers that are going to college right now have been beat up by the police? What about the brother just a couple months ago that was on his way to graduating from college and he was killed by the police?
I get that.
Listen to me. I heard you loud and clear. Listen to me. The whole thing is we're not coming in judgment of what this person has on.
Or dressed.
Yeah. It's trying to ensure that this person survives is what matters.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And as long as we use our politics and our religions to judge each other, you know what I'm saying? Then we are not going to get nowhere. So you stand up and telling this grown man how to dress in retrospect to ensuring that his kids can eat tonight. You know what I'm saying?
It's not about the dress, sir.
Right.
Exactly.
Right,
But that's what you said. You're saying,
listen
to me, brother. Listen to me. I don't want to debate. Listen to me. I listen to you. I don't want to debate with you, bro. I listen to it and I understand everything that you're saying. I'm telling you that historically that has not worked. People have done it time and time and time and time.
It's just an excuse.
Again.
It's an excuse.
I got to cut you off because you're wrong. Because when black people come together on the same code, not dress code, but code and thinking, we accomplish things. You're pretty much saying Garveyites didn't accomplish anything. You're pretty much saying Martin Luther King didn't accomplish
Not
anything.
ever. Nobody ever said that.
Then you can't say that getting on one mind. I'm not talking about, it's not necessarily the way you dress. It's the mindset. You feel
The
what I'm saying?
ideology.
We agree. We agree with that.
I understand to an extent because everybody is going to believe something different. You think that every white American believed the same thing?
No.
No.
Of course not.
Of course. But they have one understanding. And that's that they're going to stay on top.
And stick together.
And that's all that matters.
Yes,
You see what I'm saying? It's us ensuring that we understand one thing, is that we don't want to be on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with what I believe personally or how I raise my kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can believe in Allah. I can believe in Jesus. I can believe whatever I want to believe. Republican, Democrat, anything. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to get us to recognize and remember that we are all black.
Yes, that's the first.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
he want to quote Garveyism. That's what Garveyism was about. Black nationalism. It wasn't about American nationalism.
Right, you said
it wasn't about white nationalism.
And one of the things that we always try to find a way
Throughout
to
the
not
diaspora.
to not offend. We keep trying to find a way to not offend white people.
Yeah.
You said that was the first thing that he said.
Yeah.
The thing is that
I heard him
just
say
being
that.
black is offensive to some of them.
Exactly, yo.
You see what I'm saying? So we can't change that, brother.
Yeah, we can't change them. Some of them.
Don't offend white people, everybody, okay?
Bubby, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. We're not laughing at you.
No,
we're
not
just
at
surprised
all.
that you're
No,
thinking.
Not at all, bro.
It's
and
not
we saying the
counterproductive.
same thing but differently.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Bubby, you're there. How are you, sir?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, very
sir.
well.
Salute, big brother.
You agitator.
Great conversation. Let me start by saying, until a Baltimore City police officer goes to jail for the abuse or the murder of an African-American citizen, we still always going to have these same ones. And the police officer that called early, I would love to have him in Sam Winchester.
Yes, sir.
Let's start in the 80s where they was arrested. Let's start in the 90s where O'Malley zero tolerance policy hurt them.
Broke this stuff down. This is the beginning of the breakdown.
Right. Let's start where the assault on the family came when they arrested black fathers for not paying child support when they didn't have a job. So we can point to a lot of issues. But until we recoup some type of restoration for these citizens that have been oppressed and falsely incarcerated, falsely had their records destroyed where they cannot fulfill gainful employment, we are just pushing them in the wheel. And I ask this question, and I'll continue to ask this question. Why is the Baltimore City citizens still employing
Kevin Davis as the police commissioner. He should be terminated today. But because our black political leadership lack guts and intentional fortitude to do the right thing, they allow the citizens to be punished under this man's regime. Why do I say it's his fault? If you ask some of the rank and file detectives what they feel about Kevin Davis, they do not have a good opinion of him. They saying that he's not taking nothing seriously, and he worried about meeting with the mayor instead of stopping crime.
Yeah, I've heard it too. I've heard it from him numerous times, bro. So I completely agree. You know what I mean? That's why Pat said, I'm almost persuaded.
Almost. No, he's very charming. He is. He's very charming, man. You look big. Everything you think Jesus one of the disciples.
No, he has finesse, and that's why I agree with
But we
Bubby
got to hold
about
his
his
feet to the
finesse.
fire, bro.
Fire Kevin Davis.
Thanks,
you
Bubby.
finessed us enough.
There's another question that I've held off too, and again, is whether or not we're dealing with a union contract right now. So we are dealing with a negotiation between the Baltimore City Fraternal Order and the Baltimore City in general. And I'm just wondering whether or not these officers that, there's been rumor in the community that they took a knee a long time ago.
They're still taking a knee.
Pre-Freddie Gray and going into Freddie Gray. But are they still taking a knee now based on this current agreement that they're trying to negotiate with the city and trying to get back certain benefits that were taken away during prior administrations? We know Stephanie Rowland Blake attacked the pension fund, but we're wondering whether or not these officers may be in a more relaxed position because technically they have no contract.
Well, but the teachers don't have a contract, so what else is new? They don't have contracts here.
But we still expect the teacher to teach.
All right, let's go.
We should still expect the police to police.
Police to be the police.
The law.
Very astute observation. Thank you, Sharon. Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. You have a question or comment?
Yes. How you doing? I want to say hi to everybody on.
How you doing?
Hello, Queen. How you doing?
Yes. I had called your show once before. I have 5 sons, right? But me and my husband, when they was young, we told them they could do anything that they want to do, and don't go by what nobody say that you can't do this or you can't do that. And when they got preteens, we made them aware of the police, what the police do and all that. My husband would say if they stop, you just if they say put your hands up, put your hands up.
Obey them, yes.
Yeah, so you won't make the problem get worse. And a lot of times we say do what just go and do what you feel that you want to do. Can't nobody stop you from doing what you want to do because y'all just as good as anybody. Because if it wasn't, God wouldn't put you here. And all my sons, they doing good.
Okay, thank God.
And my younger son, he was so doggone smart it just didn't make no sense. When he was in school, he got 98 in calculus. He get that, and he got a good job. When he was a little boy, he said he wanted to. He liked cars, and he was going to be a mechanic. He got a associate degree in mechanic. He got a good job working in D.C. And from there, now he works in Virginia. He got his own office. He got a big 24-inch computer screen sitting on his desk. And his boss said, man, if you keep doing what you're doing, you can see more zeros on your paycheck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Sharon. We appreciate that. You did a success. That's a success story.
Good job, man.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
appreciate that. Congratulations to you and
Good
your
job
family.
with that young man.
Yes, and we wish him the best. Well, we want your calls when you tell us he done started his own business so we can go and give him some business.
And tell him to come on back down and help
tell him
train
to come
some
on
of
back
these
home.
kids.
We need him up off in Baltimore.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Eric, where are you? How are you? We have a question or comment, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all gentlemen
How you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
Hey, I just quick eye on it. Did any of y'all look at Full Measure with Sharon Atkinson?
No.
Sometimes.
I look at it all the
Sometimes.
time.
So you're aware of it. Do y'all know about the story, the Fast and Furious story about the ATF agent, the whistleblower? One of his co-workers was killed down there by the border, by Mexico, because they was trading, allowing guns to be funneled to the cartels.
That is correct.
Right, and so the ATF agent blew the whistle.
That's
so
right.
I got to thinking last night, I'm like, if the ATF, which Mayor Pugh says in town, if they allow for that to happen to the drug cartels, for them to get weapons, knowing they definitely going to use it to kill. What you think they doing in Baltimore City?
Come on.
Yes, sir.
We don't know what they're doing.
Yes, sir. Which brings up Leo's question. What happens to those guns once
What
they're
happens to the
confiscated?
guns they're confiscated? Nobody's talking about it. The mayor hasn't talked about it. The president of the city council. Nobody seems to know.
Back on the street.
Thanks, Eric.
Every time it ends up back on the street. So hey,
The
man.
drugs end up on the street in too many instances.
We've got Gene. Gene, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Come quickly because I want to get Richard Terry. Richard Terry is on the line.
Thank everybody for accepting black nationalism as their savior today. I heard people say that. I was like, oh my God, the black nationalists finally.
Amen.
And you know, and that's just a perspective. It's not a political party. No.
That's right.
It's just the way that you shouldn't be ashamed that you're putting yourself first.
Yeah, man.
God bless you guys, man.
Thank you, man.
Bless you too.
Is Trump a white nationalist?
Right.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Very much so.
Hello.
That's why the Republican
Yeah.
rich folks and
Man,
Democratic rich
get
folks
real.
support him.
And he's
Carol,
gonna make
you
the
hung
country
up.
great
All
again
right.
for them.
All right. We're going to go to Richard Terry. Hi, Richard. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Thank you. You've got a couple of minutes here. We're so happy that it ended up this way.
I've been listening to you all, and I heard Leo mention my name, so what can I say?
Yes, welcome, welcome. We wanted to talk to you about the service organization that you had years ago that you headed up.
Well, let me give you a quick history. It actually started in 1986.
Okay.
And it had been in place until January of 2009 when it was quote-unquote reorganized at the order of then Deputy Police Commissioner and a few other folks.
This is the auxiliary police.
Right. Now, we as a unit never got anything in writing, and according to the public and local laws for Baltimore City, it should have been done in writing by the commissioner, but did we ever see it? No. At its height, I had my people all over the place. They were in the Northeast District. I had them at community offense, community picnics and other things all over the city. We did traffic downtown. We were at the stadiums. They were everywhere. In fact, I had two of my people walking foot in the Upper North Park Heights area, and they stopped a robbery up there of citizens who were waiting for a bus one night. So they've been all over the place. And then we had them deployed to Federal Hill, where I think, if I remember correctly, we dropped crime, and I think they had the statistics on it one year, 30% in about 6 months.
Wow.
Street robberies. When the bars let out on
no guns,
so we know
just
it
a
works.
billy club. We know it works. Why do you think, Mr. Terry, that it was dismantled? Was it a threat to the police? Too effective? Did it cut down the prison pipeline?
It's part of a bigger thing that goes nationwide. But here they really didn't like them, so they just did what they had to do to get rid of them. But they couldn't do it because they still exist in the public and local laws for Baltimore City.
Oh, so it's the law that they're allowed to exist.
That's why they exist.
It's in the charter.
I mean,
isn't
we
it?
can't.
The city charter.
Huh?
Isn't it in the city charter?
It's in the Baltimore City Public and Local Laws, Section 16, subsection 17, if I remember correctly.
Come on, write that down, someone. Oh, you got that? Section what?
Off the top of your head, brother?
Give it to us again. Section.
I think it's Section 16, which deals with the police department, subsection 17.
Section 16, subsection
and let's not
17.
forget the privatization of all of these jails, which why they're constantly finding reasons to lock brothers up.
Now,
You know what I mean?
let me add this too. And Wayno, you had mentioned a little bit of it. The GREAT program, the DARE program, all of those programs came out of community affairs. I really don't know if community affairs even exists as a unit anymore.
Check that out.
Yeah, that's
Jason?
something to definitely
And,
look
and,
into.
and yo, it's crazy because, like I said, 9, 10 years old, we was in these programs, in these rec centers, and then I just so happened to be now a teenager, and I see the officer. I'm like, hey, man, that's Officer Blasberg. I'm going to walk up to him, and he grabbed me and slammed me to the ground, not recognizing me as the you know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't even say nothing from that point on. That just changed everything.
And remember, you had the PAL programs where you had officers in the PAL programs in many of these rec centers.
Yep.
And then that was
Tawandas.
dismantled. So it seems like all of the programs that were in the department at one time that worked with the community per se have all been dismantled bit by bit systematically.
By design.
By design. You know, I know that you have given years of service and you no longer have your sight. And you still are fighting the battle. And you still call in. And we go to your house and you give us, and well, you don't want me to tell all of that. But at any rate, we still getting information and you are still vital. Still vital.
Still a soldier, bro.
Yeah, still a
Park Senior Citizen Center. So we got a lot to cover.
Make that MTA meeting at 6. What time? 5:30.
5:30 today.
Well, you on your way across town
at the War Memorial.
4th of July, we under the 83 bridge. The 300 gangsters will be feeding the homeless. July 29th, also up at Forest Park, man. They having to find a banking meeting for kids. So y'all get involved, man.
Yes.
I did have an opportunity to check the police integrity website, and I didn't see the report on there as of yet. So there's a lot of information on there.
It'll be
maybe
on there by
posted.
Christmas. They'll have it on there.
We'll hope.
2040.
And
maybe the commissioner can send us a shout out and tell us where it's located at.
Don't forget the Positive Charge fundraiser pool party the 29th too, family.
Yes.
Look us up. We out here.
You've been listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. We didn't get to play the interview with Commissioner
Dr. Wynn.
of Health, Dr. Wynn. You do not want to miss next Monday because you ain't going to believe some of the things that are going on in the health department. Should they be passing out condoms in the jail downtown? I bet y'all going to listen now. Have a great week. We've been listening to Patrick Henderson Meet the People. Yes, and join us next Sunday. We're on every Sunday at 3:30 on Spirit 1400.
Yeah.
We love you all, Baltimore.
Love your family.
Stand up, Baltimore. We love you. God bless you.
WOLB Baltimore, a Radio 1 station where information is power.
Do you have less than perfect credit? Do you not have your identity protected? Do you have debt and have no idea how to pay it off? Do you not have your personal and financial information organized and easily available for loved ones to find when necessary? Do you not have a will, trust, and power of attorney, leaving your family totally